I just forgot to turn on the recording earlier, so now I feel silly. But
Everybody is somehow muted, and I don't know how that happened, but the speakers, Howard and Nirmalika, you need to unmute yourself if we want to hear you.
thank you. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of oh, technical bumps here. Hmm. Okay, standing by. Hmm. Well, this is very strange that I've been able to start this live stream thing very easily before, and now it's not starting. Okay, well, the first rule is to not let this technological stuff mess up our perfectly good night. So we let it go. Oh, golly. Thank you so much, Nirmalika. I love that. It's really a lovely thing to take a poem and add a tune to it as a way of embedding it in your body, so to speak. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And sharing it with us. I heard this one, I've heard it twice before now, and I've been singing it a bunch, so it was really lovely to get it refreshed. Yeah, yeah, and maybe if we could get Cyrus to do it for us in Persian now, that would be a perfect finishing for this little vignette. If Taj, if you can find him and bring our friend Cyrus up. There he is. Oh, you're muted, my friend.
Yes, yes. Sorry. Okay, the poem. تا با تو بوم نخسبم از یاری ها تا بی تو بوم نخسبم از زاری ها سبحان الله که هر دو شب بیدارم تو فرق نگر میان بیداری ها. That was it.
Do it again.
I'll be there again. Don't worry.
Yeah, we can listen for the rhymes. That would be fun.
Really?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I thought you were just kidding me. All right. It says تا با تو بوم نخسبم از یاری ها تا بی تو بوم نخسبم از زاری ها سبحان الله که هر دو شب بیدارم تو فرق نگر میان بیداری ها. And that's the last time I'm going to sing.
Howard, you are muted.
Thank you.
There you go.
Look at us go. We can just do all kinds of neat things here. Mute, unmute, all kinds of stuff. Awesome. Hmm. Well, I see that Basira Beth Fergan is here, and she's a wonderful contributor who is part of the Spokane Rumi group. So this is a group that's been putting on a Rumi night this right around this time of year for like 25 years. And yeah, it's been she was given this poem that she wants to share. It's about death and dying, and that's something she's very present with right now. And heck, none of us know when we're gonna be passing along to the next room, as Rumi put it in the thing we saw earlier. So it's a wonderful thing to have you share this poem from your heart today, Basira. Thank you.
Thank you for the encouragement. I think of poetry being read with beautiful melodic voices, and part of what I'm in my journey, I've got this very raspy, non-melodic voice. So anyway, it feels like such a privilege to me. So, with you here between lovers' work, so that when body and soul are no longer together, their loving will be free. Wash in wisdom water so that you will have no regrets about the time here. Love is the vital core of the soul, and of all you see, only love is infinite. Your non-existence before you were born is the sky of the east. Your death is the western horizon, and with you here between. The way leads neither east nor west, but in. The way leads neither east nor west, but in. Test your love wings and make them strong. Forget the ideas of religious ladders. Love is the roof. Your senses are waterspouts. Drink rain directly off the roof. Waterspouts are easily damaged and often must be replaced. Say this poem in your chest. Don't worry how it sounds going through your mouth. A human body is a bow. Breathing and arrows, and speech are arrows. When the quiver and the arrows are used up or lost, there is nothing more for the bow to do. Love is the vital core of the soul, and of all you see, only love is infinite. With you here between, test your love wings and make them strong. The way is neither east nor west, but in. With you here between, test your love wings. Those love wings, make them strong.
That's so beautiful. Thank you.
Love, feel the love, love, feel the love, I love you. What does it
That is beautiful. Thank you so much, you guys. Mm. And raspy voice and all, it was just, that was perfect, truly.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Mm. Awesome. Well, let's see here. Yeah. Looking for another presenter. Peter, would you be up for sharing a poem now? If so, I would ask you to unmute, and there we go.
Thank you, Howard. I enjoyed this stuff. I particularly enjoyed the little video from Konya. Reminded me that I had the good fortune to go there some 8 or 10 years ago and visit the tomb and be in the room where the dancing occurred. And, you know, it's a huge gathering place for both seekers and followers of Rumi. And there were a lot of women there. I saw 3 or 4 of them bedecked in black chaudhry, but they were wearing New York Giants baseball hats. I thought that was pretty good. But it's a really an overpowering place because of Rumi and what it represents. And I also got to see some dancing, but not in Konya. That took place in, I forget I can't remember where the rocks are, the cave rocks in this underground cities. At any rate, Rumi is so well known, particularly for his speaking of love and connecting with God or the beloved. So I'd like to read 2 short poems and that I think are telling. First, both of these are from Kabir's Rumi collection, and they're from his interpretation from the Mathnawi. He calls this one the best customer. If you want a customer who will pay in gold, could there be a better customer than God, oh my heart? he buys our dirty bag of goods, and in return, gives us an inner light, lent from his splendor. He receives the dissolving ice of this mortal body and gives a kingdom beyond imagining. He takes a few teardrops and gives a spiritual spring so delicious, sugar is jealous of its sweetness. If any doubt waylays you, rely upon the spiritual traders, the prophets. The divine ruler increased their fortunes so greatly, no mountain could bear what they've been given. And the second one, even shorter, Kabir calls O drop. Listen, O drop, give yourself up without regret. And in exchange, gain the ocean. Listen, O drop, bestow upon yourself this honor, and in the arms of the sea, be secure. Who indeed should be so fortunate, an ocean wooing a drop? In God's name, sell and buy at once. Give a drop and take this sea full of pearls. Thank you.
Please unmute yourself, Howard.
Getting there. Getting there. Oh, thank you so much, Peter. Yeah, I'm glad to know that you were there and got to see that big room and have those experiences. That is awesome. Yeah, Sea Roost, would you like to share your poem now?
Why not? Thank you, Howard. And tonight I'm going to do this a bit differently. Instead of reading a poem in Persian and then translating it into English, I'm going to try and decipher the message behind a particular story in Rumi's Masnavi. There are 424 stories in there, and in all of them, Rumi is guiding us through a spiritual awakening. The story I have picked for you is the first and by far the most important one. In fact, there's a special name for the first 18 lines of it, Name, meaning a letter from a reed or flute. The first line of this story is the most important line, and the first word of it is the most significant word in the entire Masnavi. And that word is Beshno, meaning listen. Listen to what? To the reed, complaining about our separations. Separations from what? Separations of our bodies from our common soul. But why a reed? Well, a reed is constructed by separating it from its bamboo root. So it knows about separation. But more importantly, a reed is hollow, which is why our breath echoes in it, reverberates, and makes a pleasant sound. Therefore, Rumi is taking us on a journey towards transcendence by advising us to be hollow within, like a reed, free from preconceived notions and receptive to new ideas and experiences, like a new student in Buddhism. The story unfolds as a king goes on a hunt which was a royal sport at the time. He runs into a slave girl on his path, is infatuated by her, buys her, and takes her to his palace to enjoy her company. Shortly thereafter, the girl becomes sick. The king summons his royal physicians to treat her, but they all fail to make her well. Frustrated, the king runs barefoot to the mosque and prays to God for a way out of this nightmare. Falling asleep there, God appears in his dream, telling him that a sage or a divine medicine man is on his way to save the girl. Sure enough, the sage appears, examines the girl, and discovers that she's in love with a goldsmith in town. So the sage informs the king that the slave girl's cure is in her union with the goldsmith. The king finds the goldsmith and arranges for their union. The newlywed couple then live happily, but not ever after. And that's because soon after the girl is feeling better, the sage concocts some drink for the goldsmith, making him sick over time. The goldsmith loses his vitality and charm in the eyes of his wife, who then loses interest in him. And then the goldsmith passes away. And now, what does it all mean? To understand the story, we need to understand the setting and characters within it. The king is a novice mystic or a new student like you and I on the path of spirituality. The hunt that the king was on was literally the hunt for transcendence or enlightenment. The slave girl is symbolic of the king's ego. You see, the ego always wants something, and when it gets it, it wants more of it, like our billionaires, or it wants something else. In a word, the ego is never satisfied, and this persistent lack of satisfaction is its sickness. So the slave girl falling sick is symbolic of the king's unsatisfied ego, always in pursuit of worldly desires and never getting enough of it. The goldsmith that the slave girl was in love with represents those material possessions or worldly desires sought after by the ego, shiny and seductive as gold. Therefore, thus far, a king, a new mystic like you and I, is seeking a spiritual awakening. But early on his path, he becomes entangled with his own ego and is seduced by it. He gives into his ego and wants to enjoy it. His ego, always chasing new desires and never fulfilled, is sick. So the king seeks healing from his royal physicians. The physicians here represent the mind or intellect. They all failed to cure the girl because none understood the cause of her illness. She wanted to be with the goldsmith and could not. That's another way of saying that the ego is in constant pursuit of ambitions, but no achievement is ever good enough because it can never bring lasting satisfaction to the ego. The king running barefoot to the mosque to pray is given up on those physicians, realizing the mind doesn't have the answer and thus seeks healing from God. Finally, the sage or divine medicine man sent by God who discovers the true cause of the illness is consciousness, creeping into the soul of the mystic and making him aware of his ego's endless pursuit of desires, and then prescribing a solution for his ego's ailment. The solution was to initially feed the ego, that is the slave girl, through fulfilling her desire to be with the goldsmith, and then making the goldsmith the object of her desire sick and thus less appealing to the ego, enabling the slave girl to let go of the goldsmith or the material world on her own will. And with egoic detachments comes liberation and enlightenment for the mystic. This interpretation comes from a 30-year-old literary genius named Arash Nalchigar, who has a Persian poetry website deciphering the poems of a number of our best poets. I'm happy to share the link if you're interested. And thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, please do share the link. Yeah, if you can put it in the chat, that would be wonderful. Yeah, I've seen his. I love listening to his talks on his website. He's an amazing gentleman. I saw one where he was doing about an hour. He said, "Well, we're going to do this poem, and it's like 25 lines long, and it's going to take about an hour and a half. So I'll start talking fast." Yeah. Hmm. Awesome. What fun. Subhana, did you have a second poem that you were interested in reading?
Sent you a message in chat asking if I could play the flute song by the Sufi choir with Huzur playing the flute. It's the Ne Name set to music by the Sufi choir. So shall we give this a try and see how this works?
Yes, please. That'll be a
Let's try
perfect thing.
this.
Be sure you click the add sound button. Oh no, yeah.
Oh, and the original sound too, I think.
If I had the link, I could do a screen share.
It's basically not coming through, Subhana, because
Not coming through?
I think you need to have the original sound on to make it come through. So the filters are stopping it.
If you're Taj, if you have access to Amazon Prime or um, uh, other forms for getting the Sufi choir, it's on this the best of the Sufi choir flute song. And if you can put it in more directly, then. Sorry, you couldn't hear that.
Thank you. Yeah, I am too.
It seems so loud here. I thought it would just work. I do have another poem I could read, so let me
Okay,
go ahead and do that.
super.
This is one of Coleman's translations from one of his first books, Open Secret. After being in love, the next responsibility. Turn me like a water wheel turning a millstone. Plenty of water, a living river. Keep me in one place and scatter the love. Leaf moves in wind, straw drawn toward amber. All parts of the world are in love, but they do not tell their secret. Cows grazing on a sacramental table, ants whispering in Solomon's ear, mountains mumbling an echo, sky calm. If the sun were not in love, he would have no brightness. The side of a hill, no grass on it. The ocean would come to rest somewhere. Be a lover as they are, that you may come to know your beloved. Be faithful, that you may know faith. The other parts of the universe did not accept the next responsibility of love as you can. They were afraid they might make a mistake. Make a mistake with it, the inspired knowing that springs from being in love.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Hmm. Hmm. Nirmalika, would you be up for doing your other song for us? Sure, take your time.
Ugh, right.
Getting there.
And someone said about the Sufi choir being on YouTube, I have a Damadam Mast Kalendar, I have a Rumi Blues, and I have Soul's Song to Itself. So, but let's hear Nirmalika first.
Okay.
Actually,
And
it's
Tosh,
on Amazon Prime or
y-
um, what's the other one? What's
YouTube.
the music app that most people have access to? Begins with
YouTube.
an S. I'm blanking. But Civic
Spotify.
Players there.
I don't think I can manage Amazon Prime with all the other stuff I'm doing.
But Taj,
Yes.
I just sent you a link in the chat for the Sufi Choir's Read Song on YouTube.
Oh, great.
So, but I'm happy to offer a song, and then you can. It'll give you a moment. I was having to fight with my computer because it opened it up, and I wasn't figuring out how to get it to stop. But here I am now.
Awesome.
Okay, I have it there ready when you're finished.
All right. So I will offer another Rumi poem that I've set to music. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there when the soul lies down in that grass. The world is too full to talk about ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense.
Thank you so much. Hmm. Well, I know the poem that we haven't done yet, Taj, is Taj, and doing your one that you wanted to set up with you and with Cyrus. Hmm.
Unmuted. You're there. And Cyrus, maybe you should unmute yourself as well. There we
There.
go. Belt and suspenders. Okay. So, my poem is called Ruins of the Heart, and it comes from this book, Love is a Stranger. And so I will read it in English, and then Cyrus has it in Persian, and then I will read it again, and then we'll see what my Akrian is going to say about this. The Ruins of the Heart. I am a sculptor, a molder of form. In every moment, I shape an idol. But then, in front of you, I melt them down. In this house of mud and water, my heart has fallen into ruins. Enter this house, my love, or let me leave.
صورتگر نقاشم، هر لحظه بتی سازم، وانگه همه بتها را در پیش تو بگدازم. در خانه آب و گل بی توست خراب این دل، یا خانه درآ جانا یا خانه بپردازم. I'm going to have to start charging for translation services.
I am a sculptor, a molder of form. In every moment, I shape an idol. But then, in front of you, I melt them down. In this house of mud and water, my heart has fallen into ruins. Enter this house, my love, or let me leave.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Taj and Cyrus. And Cyrus, it's such a pleasure to have you share in Persian with us. It's an amazing gift. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Cyrus. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
So, Howard, I have that song up if you want me to share it. It's 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Sure. Let's listen to that. That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Share screen.
Hearken to the flute and listen to what it says. It complains of the pain of separation. It says, ever since I've been cut apart from my bamboo stem, my cry has set to weeping all the women and the men. The heart would be torn to pieces by yearning if I explained the agony in longing. Everyone was drawn to me to become my friend, but none divined what it was Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela. The secret is hidden in earth as well as heaven. The flute plays a melody in separate voices. If I'd speak of it, the world would be overthrown. The beloved is all the lover but a veil over Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama budlela, Ishkalama
Taj.
Somebody.
Hazur
Thank you.
playing the flute.
That was Hazur playing. Beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. Amazing. And Taj, can you tell us again the name of that poem that you did? Reba's asking in chat, I see.
Yes. Where did the page mark? Oh, yes. So the name of this poem is The Ruins of the Heart, and it's from this translation by Kabir Habinsky. The book is called Love is a Stranger.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I can send it out also afterwards. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, Fossil Frank, might you share something with us? How are you feeling today, brother? Oh, you're muted somehow. Or there's no sound anyway.
Is that better?
Yes.
Oh, what's arising is the guest house. I might do that one now.
Thank you.
This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, greet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Thank you. That's such a seminal poem. Beautiful translation that Coleman Barks did. Probably his most famous. There's a haiku version of that. It says, What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Hmm. Cool. Well, this is really a lovely thing to share space with everyone. And Sayed was hoping to join us from Mexico, and doesn't look like it worked out for him to do so. So
But I'm wondering if, Howard, if you have a poem you would like to share.
I sure could. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Um, mhm. Well, the thing that's come up for me recently is a discourse. It's one of my two favorite discourses of Rumi. And the discourses were lectures where he would talk and people would just come and listen. It was his students, but it was people from the community too. And it wasn't all Muslims at all. It was wildly different kinds of people would all come listen, and someone would say something and he would take it as a prompt. And so on this day, the thing that someone said was, I have forgotten something. And this is what Rumi riff off of that comment was. He said, there is one thing in this world you must never forget. If you forget everything else and not this, there's nothing to worry about. But if you remember everything else and forget this, you will have done nothing in your life. It's as if a king has sent you to a country to do a task and you perform 100 other services, but not the one you were sent to do. So human beings come to this world to do particular work. That work is the purpose, and each is specific to the person. If you don't do it, it's as though a priceless Indian sword were used to slice putrid meat. It's a golden bowl being used to cook turnips, when one single filing from that bowl would buy 100 suitable pots. It's a knife of the finest tempering nailed into a wall to hang things on. You say, but look, I'm using the dagger. It's not lying idle. Do you hear how pathetic that sounds? For a penny, an iron nail could be bought to serve the purpose. You say, but I spend my energy on lofty projects. I study philosophy and jurisprudence, logic, astronomy, and medicine. But consider why you do these things. They are all branches of yourself and your impressiveness. Remember the deep root of your being, the presence of your Lord. Give your life to the one who already owns your breath and your moments. If you don't, you'll be like the man who takes a ceremonial dagger and hammers it into his kitchen wall for a peg to hang his dipper gourd. You'll be wasting valuable keenness and forsaking your dignity and purpose.
I love that, Howard. I love all the absurdities. I have one absurdity to add, that I've heard that always makes me laugh at the imagining that you own a jet and that instead of flying it all over the world, you use it as a taxi cab on a crowded street.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, there is a feedback form if anyone's up for letting us know how the program felt to them. Taj will put up in the chat the link to that. And yeah, I'm definitely up for visiting for a few more minutes. We've made it to the end of our hour, so I guess the official program can be over. And if people have something else they want to share, I'm up for hanging out some more for a little bit more. So yeah, thank you guys so much for this chance to play together, this chance to share space. Mm. Mm. Yeah.
So, Howard, every time that I present, I always like to try to find the nugget of the nugget. However, in this poem, there are, 4 other nuggets. It was hard for me to choose. And if anybody wanted to hear what comes in between the first and the last one that I did, I would love to read it. Just read it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, because it's actually a 6-line poem that you just read the first and sixth line of, I believe.
So, Ruins of the Heart. I am a sculptor, a molder of forms. In every moment I shape an idol, but then in front of you, I melt them down. I can rouse 100 forms and fill them with spirit, but when I look into your face, I want to throw them in the fire. Do you merely fill this drunkard's glass, or do you really oppose the sober? Is it you who brings to ruin every house I build? My soul spills into yours and is blended. Because my soul has absorbed your fragrance, I cherish it. Every drop of blood I spill informs the earth. I merge with my beloved when I participate in love. In this house of mud and water, my heart has fallen into ruins. Enter this house, my love, or let me leave.
Thank you. This is a beautiful part of what happens with Rumi is that you can take a poem and just bring out an excerpt of it as you did. And then it's also beautiful to do a wider version of it later. Yeah, that was interesting what Cyrus shared this time of that first story in the Mesnavi. It's a challenging story where the the girl is um, taken away, and then they bring her guy friend and then poison him, and he dies. I mean, it's like, what? It's a very challenging story, and so it's really lovely and helpful to hear and understand the metaphors and deeper meanings behind why the story goes the way it does.
So
Beautiful.
someone has asked for a reference to that poem. I found it in the back, Howard, but I'm not really that kind of referencey. But I'll put in what I have in the back of this little book because, let's see.
Yeah, um, it's from a specific. I have it here. Oh,
I
well, his
put what I
reference goes.
had. Um,
Yeah, that goes back to the Divan of Shams 34. Is Cyrus still here? Is that what we gave to you? Is that the same number?
I have, let me tell you what number I have for that. So
Yeah.
the one Taj read is Ghazal number 1462. The one Brenna read is a Robai number 35 from Divan Shams.
Okay, thank you.
That Azam number 462?
1462, 1462.
1462.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm. Beautiful. So yeah, is there something else that someone has a question on or?
Someone is asking for the poem around death and dying that was read earlier
Mm-hmm.
by
Awesome.
Basira.
By Basira.
Someone actually put already what do you call it, a web something to have access to it in the chat, but I don't know the translation. It's the title is "With You Here Between," and I was able to just go online and type that in and get the poem, but I don't have the information for that. Howard, what's the name of your poem that you read?
Oh, the translation is almost all by Coleman Barks. He calls it the one. Well, he has a couple different names for it. I found 3 different translations by him of the same piece. But he calls it the one thing you must do. Yeah,
Good.
and
Thank
so
you.
it's discourse number 4. And yeah, it was really interesting to I laid out all 3 versions that he had done to see what's the same, what's different. Why did he bother to retranslate it 3 times? And I found the places where he was playing with it differently. And in 2 places, it felt like he didn't quite get the heart of the word I wanted. And so I played with it a little bit and I changed 2 of the words in it and was like, am I really doing this? And well, okay, I guess I am doing it. Um, but yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Thanks. Yeah.
What is the one thing?
Well, there's many layers of it. Um, the surface level one, it took me like, I think 6 years to even figure out the surface level, most obvious one. Because he says toward the end, because at the beginning he says there's one thing you must never forget, da da da da. And then most of the way through, all of a sudden he just says, remember the deep root of your being, the presence of your Lord. So that's the one thing you must never forget, is basically La ilaha illallah. There is nothing but God. There's no other reality. But there's many other layers of it, of the one thing you must do, because he talks about we're each here for a purpose and they're individual also. But it overlays, in other words, it's not what we want to do that's going to make us famous. That's for sure. That's not the thing we're here to do. That's easy. Um, but it's a beautiful question to keep asking. But yeah, that's definitely a big part of it, is remember the deep root of your being. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Subhana, are you holding up a hand?
I have one of Hazur's favorite poems that I'd like to read for him.
That would be lovely.
One night a man was crying, Allah, Allah. His lips grew sweet with the praising until the cynic said, so I've heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten any response? The man had no answer to that. He quit praying and fell into a confused sleep. He dreamed he saw Khidr, the guide of souls, in the thick green foliage. Why did you stop praising? Because I've never heard anything back. This longing you express is the return message. The grief you cry out from draws you toward union. Your pure sadness that wants help is the secret cup. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the names of. Give your life to be one of them.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. The grief you cry out from is, yeah, is the return message. Yeah. Hmm. Awesome. Well, Wajida, I hope that you and your friend have a good visit in a couple of hours. It's almost morning there, right? Hmm. That's awesome. Thank you. It's so great to see you tonight. Kuan Yin, it's so great to see you. So we have Germany, we have Mexico, and there was someone in Canada earlier. So yeah, that's a pretty good spread. Oh golly. Hmm. Is there anything else that someone has that they'd like to share or ask or? Mhm. It's kind of perfect then. Thanks, you guys. This has been a beautiful visit, and we hope that we'll get to do this in person soon again. But for now, yeah, like Frank says, yay.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you, everyone, for the beautiful readings. Appreciate it. And the music.
Thank you, Taj.
Yes, very much so. Thank you, Taj.
Welcome, my pleasure. What a joy.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody.
And Howard, what a beautiful, open smile you have.
Thanks. Yeah.
I have a thought, then people can leave, but how about ending the way we started, if you wanted, with that 2-minute video that came right at the beginning, and many people came after that and didn't get to see it.
Sure. I like that.
If I can find it again. Give me a moment to get past the ads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. From Konya.
With osteoporosis or osteopenia, and you also take any
Hazreti Mevlana Hakk'a yürüdüğü zaman, yani vefat ettiği zaman cenazesine her dinden insan gelmiş. O kadar kalabalık olmuş ki Müslümanlar, Hristiyanların ve daha doğrusu gayrimüslimlerin, Müslüman olmayanların cenazeyi terk etmeleri, uzaklaşmalarını istemişler. Onlar da karşı çıkmışlar. Hristiyanlar demiş ki biz İsa'mızı Hazreti Mevlana'dan öğrendik. Museviler demişler ki biz Musa'mızı Hazreti Mevlana'dan öğrendik ve cenazesini hep beraber kaldırmışlar. Herkes kendi dininde dua etmiş. Bütün ömrünce Allah'ı aramış, Allah'la bir olmayı istemiş. Ve bunları insan etrafına da bu fikri yaymaya gayret etmiş. Bu dünyadan göçtüğü, öbür dünyaya gittiği geceye de Şebarus denmesini istemiş. Ve Hazreti Mevlana ölümü yok olmak diye düşünmüyor. Ancak bilindiği gibi müminler ölmez, bir odadan öbür odaya geçerler deniyor. Bundan da insanların aslında çok önemli görevleri, her birimizin çok önemli görevi olduğunu vurguluyor. Bu dünyaya gelişimiz, bu dünyada ölmememiz için beden olarak düşünmemeliyiz. Beden topraktan geldi, toprağa gitti. Ama bir eser bırakır isek, eğer bu dünyaya geliş nedenimizi anlayıp o neden üzere çalışırsak, ömrümüzü o yolda geçirir isek, işte o zaman ölmeyiz. Anlatılan ölmemek bunlar.
Thank you so much. That's fun. Phew. Well, thank you guys for this lovely visit, this chance to share Rumi's poetry and wisdom. Feel very lucky.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you, everyone. Enjoyed it.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ya Shakur.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it's exciting that it worked out with, yeah, Sayed's not here, Mariam didn't make it, and I couldn't get the YouTube live stream to work either. So I go, yeah, perfect.
It was perfect. It all worked out just very sweetly.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.